taking the time to talk to me. You are serving your first term in District F. Has the experience been what you thought it would be when you first ran for office?
It is such a wonderful but also painful experience. When I was running for city council, I was under the misconception that it is a part-time job. And I have a law firm, obviously, you can see that. And I thought that it takes me approximately 25 to 30 hours the max in City Hall. So after I won the election, I came in there, and I found out it's not 30 hours, it's not 25 hours. In order to be a good council member, I have to dedicate to my time more. Usually it's going to be over 40 hours. The 40 hours, because I have to be proactive within the community, within the many super neighborhoods and organizations, spending time with them, trying to understand what's going on with them, trying to cooperate with them on issues. That's why it's more than 40 hours. That's painful. But it is a wonderful experience because by cooperating and working with community leaders and civic leaders, I've learned a lot of things, resolving issues and contributing back to the community as from the beginning, one of my goals is trying to contribute back to the community. So the experience is painful because it takes a lot of time, but it's so wonderful because it is a cooperating experience with all civic leaders.
Okay. What do you see as your main accomplishments so far and the main priorities that you have for District F going forward?
When I ran for City Council, I promised my constituents that, first of all, I'm trying to reduce the crime in the area because it is a very heavily populated area. And the second thing I promised to them is trying to bring job to the location, that's infrastructure and job. I've succeeded my goal because, first of all, we had a new police station division on Regency Square and West Park. And overall, the crime rate reduction in my district is 22% for 2 consecutive years. I know the whole city of Houston, we have the crime reduction about 16 or somewhere 11 or 12%. But overall, in District F is 22%, and that the record was released by the chief. So I'm very happy about that. The crime reduction, one of my goals, I already achieved that. The second goal is to have the infrastructure. Probably you remember the Shopstown Mall, we had about $20 million in the torts, and there was a lawsuit on that mall, and it was the fund was kind of frozen at the time. But working with Tim Douglas and the mayor and many other departments, I fought, and they released that $20 million funds into a new project, and that project is to reconstruct the whole Bel-Air Boulevard from Mary Bates to Bellway Tate. And the project's supposed to be done last July, but there's a delay, and probably will be delayed up until January the 1st of March. So infrastructure, I had the money for the project. Reconstruction of the Bel-Air Boulevard. You can see the reconstruction of Boone and also Willcrest, things like that. Obviously the flood in the area reduced tremendously. Not this year because we have a drought this year, but last year it was great. So infrastructure, and then Amazon they are going to move their headquarters to Rochdale and Bellway Tate in my district, creating approximately 150 new jobs, transferring about 200 jobs, and total jobs in the area would be about 500 jobs. And the average income for a job for Amazon is 6 digits, $100,000. Means that it will bring a lot of businesses to the area. So that's what I have achieved, infrastructure and also economic boost to the area. But one of the most important things is that I have traveled to Korea, South Korea, to China, to Cambodia, and to working with the Vice Mayor Pro Tem, Ed Gonzalez, trying to promote trade, trying to attract business investments into the city of Houston, trying to have, last time we had approximately 50 companies, investors, came to Houston, and that each company, they have an asset of about at least $30 million US dollars. They came to Houston and they invest. They open their own account here, and they have what we call the Houston Trade Center. Houston Trade Center is the person, the president of the company purchased Macy, Macy in Shopstown Mall, and they got that, and they are transforming it into what we call a direct sale. It's like a direct sale. People can see the manufacturers. They manufacture. They get their products there, and people see and they can buy wholesale directly. So we got those and trying to renovate alive Shoptown Mall. So that's my achievement.
Okay. You serve on the International Business and Commerce Council. I assume that what you were just talking about is related to that. I mean, all the candidates that I talk to talk about bringing jobs to Houston. I assume that committee has some direct experience with it. What are actually some of the things that committee does that relates to convincing businesses to come to Houston?
I'm the vice chair of the International Initiative Committee, and as one of my jobs is trying to build an image of our city to all the countries, to all the cities, that we are a world-class city. One of my jobs is trying to have Consul General of all the countries to be here. We are the third largest city in terms of Consul General, but we are the fourth largest city in population. But in terms of the Consul General, right now we already surpassed Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and Houston. We are trying to compete, so that we are trying to be the second and first. Well, first is very hard, but second. So I've begun to Cambodia, trying to get the Prime Minister and also the Foreign Affairs over in Cambodia to establish a Consul General in Houston. If we are going to get that, we'll have about 93 Consul General here in Houston. So that's one of my duties. The second duty is trying to bring jobs, as you just said, making sure all the cities and countries, like in India, in China, and in South America, know that we are a city of jobs. We have low crime rate compared to all the major cities. Our city is affordable. Location, we are a strategic location. Our city can reach up to within 1,600 square mile. We can reach up into half of the U.S. population, but we also can reach down to Latin America. This is a great port. This is a great city, and that's what I've done for the last 2 years. And many other countries and cities and also companies over there, they love the city of Houston because the people here is so harmonious, and we are a diversified city and internationalized already. And they can see that as an Asian, I succeeded in city council. It means that it gives them opportunities. It gives them a lot of opportunities. That's why they like it. And also the location, the business here. So you can see that for the last 2 years, even all the cities in the country are having problems of getting jobs. We have our job created, I have heard about 60,000 jobs. Okay. That's it.
Obviously, this past couple of years on council have been tough from a financial and budgetary standpoint. Are you satisfied with the budget that council passed for this fiscal year?
If you follow my vote for the last 2 years, I was the one who proposed first the voluntary furloughs, and then I also proposed at least a 2% cut on each council member. 2-3%. None of them agreed. Finally,